What's up, good people, and welcome to a brand new episode of The Purple Couch, and I am your host, Usanza. And guess what's happening, Bafetu, on this new episode, Bafetu? We've partnered with Showmax Original, and it's new show called Youngins. Now, if you don't know what Youngin is, you're living under a rock, but Kulega, because Usanza's got you covered. I'll be plugging you with what is it. It's a show that focuses on high school kids who are going through different issues and topics which us Love Life touch on, and hence why we are working closely with them. Now, with all of that being said, do make sure you follow us on them socials. It is at Love Life NGO on all of them socials, and do make sure you hit that like and subscribe button over there, because why? Sisonke. Now, to the National Department of Health and the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, City Danko for always making sure that this happens.
Welcome to Elephant Plantain.
The jungle. Did you mean another 5? It's all up on a speed beat, you know.
Buga.
Babon or Ace man high school.
Shit. Ngicabanga ukuthi sisiqale lesi sikaphansi. Usaphila kahle man. Siloka kanjani? Hawu, ngitshela. Siloka kanjani?
And then
Just remember, in my school, nothing goes unpunished. So, tread carefully. Pick your friends carefully. You have a lot to lose.
I shame high school as much about week.
So am I rules are like higher? Lights off or 8. Watholakala when?
Hi. Disappointed. Sabana for life is now baba is sweet.
With all of that being said, let's get into my interview with Kealeboga Masango, who plays the character of Buhle Kunene.
Ngiplane yonke into ne. So qala ngizoba Miss South Africa yabo. And then mangiqedile ngizoshaya iwave yami ngigqokise sham kuyimatch akakhaya. Bafana match number 1. Ngithi sanibonani. Ninjani? And then mangiqedile ngithi Miss World kuyadiphana ngokuthi ubani Miss India. And then mangiqedile 20 years down the line, Buhle Kunene as Madam President. Well, Buhle Jali.
Now, as I did mention, Love Life Azuguti, I'll be interacting with one of the main characters, Youngins, who's playing the head girl. Her name is Kealeboga Masango, who plays the character of Buhle. Kia, how are you?
I'm good, how are you? Sanibonani, guys.
I'm good, I'm also good, I'm good. Now, can you please tell us, how do you prepare for the character that you're playing, Buhle?
If I'm being completely honest, I had to understand my character's why. Angazi ngidlala character kanje, guys. I've never in my entire life, so I had to understand the basis of this character, you know. I needed to understand, why does she act this way? There's always a reason behind how certain people act. Umuntu akavuki nje and just act the way that they act, the way they, you know, like today. So I just wanted to understand why she makes certain decisions, why she decides to do this. And the moment I understood that, I feel like that's how I better understood Buhle and tapped into all of those elements while making sure, you know, she's still that mean girl, the it girl. So I feel like that's how I prepared for Buhle.
And how would you say you separate Buhle from Okia?
Yo, guys, there's a lot of differences, hey? A lot of differences.
Name two.
Let's just say Buhle is, you know, I'm confident as well, but Buhle's confidence is so heightened to the point where if anyone is at her level, she has to be on top. Because at the end of the day, she sees herself as main character energy. She's on top. No one else is on like her level. She's here. They are here. You understand what I'm saying?
And would you say is that's caused by the pressure of being head girl or?
100%. I feel like she also gets that from like, home, pastor's kid, Of course, she must be on top. And Buhle is not the type of person who likes failure. Like, she feels like failure is the end of the world. She needs to be picture perfect. She wants to be perfect, so she'll do anything. And unfortunately, with her decision making, it leads her to, making very terrible choices to stay on top. Yeah.
I hear you. Now, let's talk about Buhle and in the high school setup, what's happening in the story. Now, Buhle, we see Uguti, she's a very out-driven person and she's now sexually active. So how would you say it is important for young girls to practice safe sex?
If I'm being completely honest, I feel like it is very important because we all know about STIs and STDs. Our generation, especially the new generation, they are very educated on all of this because they're exposed to social media. So it's very important that, they use protection since they know that this is what's happening. It's more for them more than anyone else, They don't want to now make a decision and then the next morning they now regret it. So it's very important that they take those precautionary measures to be safe. Exactly.
Yeah, I hear you. Mentioning Uguti, kids today are well informed. What's your stance on condom distributions at high school?
I feel like that they should continue, if I'm being completely honest, because at the end of the day, we all know that these kids know these things. Like, if we're being completely honest, they know they're exposed to this. They're the ones who wake up and they make these decisions. So why not at least, have this easily accessible for them to at least be safe while they take part in this? Because even if, for example, if Nina Niti condom, they're still going to do it behind your backs, and then the rate of teenage pregnancy is going to increase,
It's gonna be high.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, Buhle in the story is a person who puts a lot of pressure up to herself and always wants to be on top of a game every now and then. Would you blame social media, and what's your stance on social media and how girls behave?
I feel like I would definitely blame social media. Social media has put on this facade that a lot of girls look up to. Like, they want to be these people when in actuality they're all just acting, or they're just, showing what they have in the current moment, but they have no idea how a person is like outside of the phone. So I feel like a lot of young girls, they look up to the idealistic version of what people have put out on social media. Because I feel like even for me, my social media is just what I expose to the world, but no one knows the full extent of who I am. Because I feel like I want to keep that private, and that's just for me. But everyone just clings on to that idea that, oh my goodness, this girl's perfect. I want to be like that. Why don't I look like that? And then that brings insecurities within girls. And I feel like that's what puts so much pressure on the girls today. The increased pressure is linked to a lot of insecurities because they feel like, why don't I look like this? Why don't I have this? They become envious and all of those things. So social media does play a big role on young girls.
Yeah, and how would you advise a young girl who's so consumed with what's happening on social media? I gotta look like this. I gotta follow this certain trend. What would you say to them?
I would say, don't waste your time, my sweetie. There's no point. You will be unhappy chasing these unrealistic goals. Some of these people, yes, they're just blessed with, rich families or all of these materialistic things, and other people work for it. I feel like when it comes to that specific thing, she just has to work and push and not always lean on social media to be her, oh my goodness, this is my destination, Everyone's path is different. She just needs to put in the work, and she needs to understand that she's unique in her own way and she's beautiful in her own way. So that mustn't take from what she sees on social media, because it's gonna make her very unhappy.
I see and I hear you. Now, can you please tell us what can we expect from Buhle going forward?
Buhle Kunene. Oh, Bada. Let's just say, if you thought that Buhle was dramatic, it's gonna get worse.
Worse? How worse? Are you gonna be in people's spaces? Because now
I don't know. You have to watch, hey? Okay. You have to watch. You have to stay tuned.
Okay, for me and the viewers at home, are you gonna leave Kaya?
Guys, please watch, hey?
Bafethu, please do make sure you stay tuned into Youngins on Showmax. If you don't have Showmax, please plug yourself. And with all that being said, thank you, please.
Bye.